This podcast is brought to you by WTOE Radio at throughoureyes.org.
Uh-oh, guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Julie, hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on, I know you can hear me. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Woo-hoo!
Let's go. Let's go.
Hi, this is Cheryl Echevarria of Echevarria Travel, your one-on-one travel agent making your travel dreams come true, home of the independent traveler. Whether you're sighted, blind, or disabled, whether you use a cane, guide dog, or sighted guide, Echevarria Travel will get you there safely. Come and learn more about traveling independently.
Come with me, let's go. Come with me, let's go. Come with me, let's go. Come with me, let's go.
You are listening to the Echevarria Travel Show, and I am Cheryl Echevarria. The call-in number is 1-888-572-0141. And before I bring on our first guest, Gilberto Machain from Karisma Hotels, I wanted to let you all know that the WTOE Network runs on donations by you. If you enjoy this show or any of the other shows you're listening to, please send in a tax-deductible donation to the Northeast chapter of the NFB of New Jersey, which is 254 Spruce Street, Bloomfield, New Jersey, 07003, and put in the memo WTOE Network. All of these donations help run this radio station. So, as I was saying, my first guest is Gilberto Machain from Karisma Hotels. Gilberto, are you there?
Hola, Cheryl. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you for coming on tonight. As you know, what I normally do is that I let my guests speak for a few minutes to let them know of who you are, the company you represent, and basically also why you work for the company you work for. So let's hear a little bit of an introduction about yourself.
Thank you. Well, as you mentioned, my name is Gilberto. I am located in the Riviera Maya right now. This is where I live. I've been living here for a couple of years. I'm originally from Guadalajara. I grew up back in the States in California, and I've been living here for a while. My first job and my only job in this area has been working for the Karisma Hotels, which is 3 different brands of hotels. The Dorado Hotels, which is an adult-only brand. Then we also have Azul Hotels, which is a wonderful family-friendly brand. And Generations Resorts, which is as well a family brand with wonderful top-notch amenities included. I've been working for this wonderful company for almost 6 years already. I started as a wedding coordinator, and I made my way to the sales department. To be honest, I'm in love with this area, this part of Mexico, and I'm in love with this wonderful brand of hotels.
Wonderful. And ever since I found out about Karisma Hotels, and they have if anybody's out there that is a travel agent or interested in going into the travel business, Karisma Hotels offers travel agents as well as their consumers great opportunities, especially for the consumer. They have the all-inclusive resorts, and we'll talk more about exactly what that means in a little bit. But also for the travel partner, they offer you almost everything you need to be set up as a travel agent, everything from business cards to flyers and great people to work with like Gilberto and his inside sales rep, Barbara and Phyllis in media and advertising. So they're really wonderful to work with, and it's a great company to visit. Gilberto, a lot of people when I mention Mexico, they kind of freak out a little bit because they say, "Oh, Mexico it's not safe." All that news and stuff on on the TV they hear, and of course they hear the sound bites and all that. Can you let us know how safe it is to go to that part of Mexico?
Well, thank you for bringing up this question. Actually, Mexico, it's a large country with many states in it. What you hear, it's just a little part, a couple of cities in a border of Mexico, but the rest of the Mexico is actually pretty safe. Like I mentioned, I grew up in the States. I've been living here for already a couple of years, and I can tell it's the most safest place you can ever be in. You can go out on the street late at night, especially since this area, Cancun, the Riviera Maya, and Tulum, it's a 100% tourist place. It's always safe. There's a lot of people that come and visit this area, so it's actually pretty safe.
Also, I want to mention for those that cannot see, if you ever are familiar with a tactile map of the world, especially with the United States, the part of Mexico we're talking about, if you feel where Florida is, the panhandle, as we call it feels like a big handle, and right in that round part of the area between Florida and kind of like Texas, it's the Gulf of Mexico. And the Riviera Maya is a little, am I correct, a little south of that? Am I correct of where the Riviera Maya Cancun area is, Gilberto? Or you can correct me where it kind of is on the east side of Mexico. That's
actually correct. We're south of, between Florida and the Gulf of where Texas is. So yes.
Very good, thank you. I always like to try to explain to those that cannot see where exactly it is. Can you let our clients know, when you say all-inclusive, when somebody comes to either the Azul, that's for friends and family, and the El Dorado, which is a couples-only resort, what can they expect when they go to these resorts as well as Generations?
Well, actually, we are not an all-inclusive. We're even better than that. We are gourmet-inclusive. That means that every time you go to the restaurant, everything's a la carte. There's no buffets. Everything's prepared whenever you order it. And my favorite part is that we have 100,000 square feet inside of greenhouse where we grow our own vegetables and herbs. So every time you're going to a restaurant, or you order room service, which, by the way, there's 24-hour room service included, you're going to have wonderful and very fresh meals. As well, the presentations of the meals, since it's gourmet, they're incredible. I can tell you some of my personal experiences because I am the lucky guy that always has the opportunity to go to all of the restaurants and try all of the meals. Literally, I'm really spoiled. I get to eat some of the most wonderful dishes that you can think of. As well, as part of the gourmet inclusive, in some selected resorts, we have beach butlers. So they're gonna give you a beach bed or a beach chair, and they're gonna pamper you the whole time, bringing you snacks, gourmet bites, reading material, sun tanning lotion, your towel, reading books, just about everything. Seriously, you do not need to lift a finger. They are there to pamper you the whole time. That's what gourmet inclusive is.
Wonderful. And I also want to mention, just because it's a gourmet inclusive resorts, that it doesn't mean you're trapped to staying at the resorts. Mexico, especially that part of the country, is very beautiful, very historical, with the Mayan ruins. And even if you wanted to go further throughout Mexico, there are, a lot of American history comes from Mexico. A lot of Spanish history from Spain comes from Mexico, and it's a very diverse place, Mexico. Am I correct?
Correct, especially this area. Before the Spanish conquest this area, the Mayans live here, the Mayan culture. So you're going to see tons of Mayan culture, a lot of the Mayan ruins. You're going to find a lot of cenotes, which is our natural sinkholes, where there's caves with water, which is all crystal clear. You're going to find beautiful beaches and tons of activities and a lot of great culture of Mexico in this area.
Doesn't one of your resorts, or at least close to it, have a dolphin experience? Because I know, in fact, I let one of my clients know that was recently down there, and they had a wonderful time, and both of them are blind and had a great time, that they went on a dolphin swim. Can you, which resort is that, and what exactly, can you tell us a little bit about that?
That is correct. We have the El Dorado Maroma, which, by the way, it's located in one of the most beautiful beaches in the world. And you can go and research that. It's called Maroma Beach. And well, it's the property is El Dorado Maroma. Next to that property, there's a marina where there's plenty of activities. And there's people who actually travel from all over Cancun and the Riviera Maya to get to this marina because, again, it's located in one of the most beautiful beaches. We just have a new dolphin area where you can swim with the dolphins. As well, there's some other activities such as deep sea fishing, snorkeling, diving, speedboats. One of my favorite things is we have camels where you can ride along the beach, horseback riding, and well, plenty of activities for you to enjoy.
Wow, I didn't know about the camels. I got to catch up on my studying with that. I just want to let people know, if you're just joining in, this is the Echevarria Travel Show. And to call in to speak to myself or Gilberto, Marco is off tonight. It's 1-888-572-0141. We're talking about Karisma Resorts in Mexico and in Jamaica. They are gourmet inclusive resorts. And if you're looking for more information about them, just contact Cheryl Echevarria at echevarriatravel.com. And also, Gilberto, if people go to echevarriatravel.com, they could try to win a stay at the resorts, because I have on my website the El Dorado and the Azul resort sweepstakes on my homepage, and you just click on them, and every month, two names are pulled and won the sweepstakes?
That is correct. We raffle either two giveaways. They're usually 3-night, 4-day stay in one of our wonderful gourmet inclusive properties. We have one raffle for the adult-only brand, El Dorado Hotels and Resorts, and we have another one for the Azul Hotels.
So those that are listening, or when we have this recorded on my website and everything, make sure you go to the home page and click on the El Dorado is for couples only, and if you go to the bottom of the page, I have the Azul Resorts. So the Azul Resorts is for friends and family, and the El Dorado is for couples only. Plus, they do wonderful weddings at these resorts. All different kinds, especially on the beach. Correct, Gilberto? They do a lot of beach weddings there?
We do a lot of beach weddings. We have beach gazebos. We have garden gazebos. And don't forget that we also have our sky wedding gazebos, which are located on the rooftop of some of the buildings. They have a gorgeous view of the Mexican Caribbean Sea. And we actually also have a webcam. So those people who couldn't attend the wedding, we actually transmit the ceremony live. So it's a live broadcast of the ceremony.
That's wonderful. See, they really know how to take care of their clients, and whether it's a family getaway or a couple's getaway, or you want to talk to me about destination weddings, especially since Christmas was just here. A lot of people got engaged, and February's coming up, the month of love. So I could do, February's getting full, people. So if you want to go to these resorts, please let me know, and I can book you right away. So I just want to bring up a couple of things in reference to people that are listening to this show that are disabled. Mexico is a little different than it is going to the U.S. You do need a passport or the passport card, which is good for both Canada and Mexico. and you can travel almost anywhere in Mexico. If you contact me, I will tell you certain areas to stay away from. Again, those are mostly the ones attached to the borders of Texas and other areas bordering the U.S. But what I was also going to say is that, especially those with service animals, they don't have ADA laws like they do here in the United States. So when you're looking at a resort and you have a guide dog, you have to let me know, because unfortunately they don't allow guide dogs at any of the resorts with Karisma hotels. That could change in the future. That may not, but if you're looking to go to a resort or travel in Mexico, guide dogs are allowed, but they're not like the U.S. resorts here where they're allowed at that resort. So I would like to say everybody can, but as for myself, and some people might be angry when I say this if you're a guide dog user, please, if you have a chance to go somewhere, and you really want to go and you can't bring your guide dog there, and I'm not trying to offend anybody, go anyway. Use your cane, because cane is the first form of mobility for people before you get your dog. See if your guide dog school can board your dog for you or ask a friend to go, because going to Mexico and going to some of these resorts and destinations, you shouldn't give up on that, or anywhere in the world. Like I said, I would love to take my guide dog everywhere I go, but there are certain places in the world that we cannot take them. But we're working on that. We're always working on that. I'm always trying to work on that. I'm talking with the Jamaica Tourism Board, and I'm talking with the Mexican Tourism Board and some other places. I just wanted to give that shout out there for those that are listening, that it's not you. When you leave the U.S., you have to go by their laws and respect that company. That's all I'm trying to say. But getting back to your resorts, though, do you have wheelchair accessible rooms at any of the resorts? If somebody came down there that needed a wheelchair accessible room, do you have them at all?
We actually, it's best for you to request the ground floor, and we can help you with that. So it can be more accessible for the wheelchair. We do have wheelchairs in the property, which we can lend you or we can rent you. It's up to you. And something I really want to mention is that the staff in Mexico, it's very warm. The Mexican people are very warm. And if they see that you need help, they're always going to guide you, help you in anything that you need.
And again, I've had clients that went there and they loved it, and the staff they went to the Azul Fives Resort, which is a very popular Azul resort is that in Riviera Maya?
Correct, that's in Riviera Maya, and it's located in the heart of Playa del Carmen, and it's around 8 minutes away from downtown Playa del Carmen. I do remember when you told me about your customers, and I did ask the hotel how was their stay, and believe me, I know that the hotel was helping them in any of their needs, helping them, so that's why they really love this property.
Yes, they guided them. Nothing was a stupid question. They didn't grab onto them. They treated them like human beings down there. So if you're concerned about going to these resorts and how they're going to treat you, and especially me being your travel agent, I will make sure if somebody's not happy, I will be on the phone with Gilberto or Barbara, and they will make sure that you are treated like a king or a queen. So you shouldn't be sitting back listening and saying, I really like to go, but I'm not sure. But that's what I'm here for, to help you, and that's what Gilberto's here for you.
Sorry to interrupt, Cheryl. We'd like to add that tips are included as part of the gourmet inclusive stay, so you do not need to give tips, and people are not expecting this, and they're still willing to help you, and they're always very friendly. So that's something I really love about not only our hotels, but in general, the Mexican.
Exactly. And hopefully, I'm hoping that Nelson and I can get down there either in November or December to take a tour of the resorts because we do have some time coming to us. So we're looking forward to possibly coming down there ourselves. On another subject, how far are you from the airport? If somebody's going to ask me how far or what's the close, is it Cancun they should fly into? And how far are you from the Cancun airport?
Okay, great question. Yes, you will need to arrive to the Cancun International Airport, and we have various hotels located throughout the Riviera Maya. I'll go by them by order. So after you leave the Cancun Airport, you need to go south, and we're going to find the first 4 properties, which are 20 minutes away. 20 minutes, so it's a very short ride from the Cancun International Airport. We have 2 villas. They're 2-story villas. One of them is Azul Villa Esmeralda and Azul Villa Corolla. And 2 wonderful properties. It's the Azul Beach and the Azul Sensatori Hotel. Remember, they're the Azul brand, so those are our family-friendly hotels. Then we have the El Dorado Royal, which is like 30 minutes away from the Cancun International Airport. Then we have 35 to 40 minutes away from the Cancun International Airport, again, south, El Dorado Maroma, where we spoke before that. It has one of the most beautiful beaches in the world. Then we have Azul Fives, which is like 35 minutes also ride from the Cancun International Airport. And lastly, we have the El Dorado Seaside Suites, which is around an hour and 10 minutes. It's further down south. But I love this property because it's very close with where all of those themed national parks that we have, as well Tulum, which is the Mayan ruins, the only ruins located on the beach. So it's pretty close to Tulum.
Wonderful, wonderful. What was the other thing I was going to ask? Can you tell us about the New Generations Resort in Negril?
Yes, well, actually, the Generations are also located in the Riviera Maya. They're aside from the El Dorado hotels. It's a wonderful new concept because they're family-friendly hotels that they can stay next from the adult property. They are divided, and the Generations property offer top-notch services such as butler. Whenever you arrive to the property, you're going to be greeted by the butler. They're going to take you into your room, unpack your clothes, steam it for the first night, hang it in the closet, help you with any reservations in the restaurant, bar reservations. We also have the Eco Kids Club where you can drop your kids. We're going to be taking well care of them. And we also have in-room dining experiences. So one night you decide not to go to the restaurants, we can have a whole dinner set up for you with a theme. Not only that, one of the biggest advantages of the Generations Resort is that the rooms are huge. I believe that in the 3-bedroom suites, we can accommodate up to 12 people. So that's a lot of space in the room. So that's Generations, and those are located in the Riviera Maya. And you were talking to me about the Jamaica property. The Jamaica property, it's an Azul property, and it's called Azul Sensatori Jamaica. This property just recently opened in December 21st. Right now it only has 98 rooms, but it's offering the same wonderful gourmet services that we offer here in the Mexico hotels. And the best part of it is that it's located in the best beach of Jamaica, which is Negril.
That is correct. Jamaica is wonderful, from Montego Bay to White House to Ocho Rios and Negril. And they do have some of the most beautiful beaches in Negril there. And it's a lot more secluded and a lot less touristy than Montego Bay and Ocho Rios. It's also a little further from the airport as well, but it's worth the drive. You get to see a lot of the resort. Letty, how are we doing on time? All right. Well, I want to thank Gilberto Machain for coming on the show today. And we remember, if you want to know more about Karisma Hotels, give me a call at 631-456-5394 or reservations at EchevarriaTravel.com. We could send you to Mexico, or we could send you to Negril, Jamaica. Thank you for coming on tonight, Gilberto. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you so much, Cheryl. Lastly, I want to remind you that if they book with Echevarria Travel, they're going to receive free upgrades or a candlelight dinner or an organic spa treatment. So just by booking with Echevarria, they're going to get extra perks. So don't forget to call Cheryl. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing that up. Have a great night.
You too. Buenas noches.
And when we come back, I will be talking about some issues that the NFB is working on, the Air Carrier Technology Accessibility Act. We're going to be heading down to Washington, D.C., January 27th through the 30th, and also some updates on the TSA programs that will be helpful, especially with the airlines coming up with convention season. So take care. We'll be back in 4 minutes.
Let's go.
Hi, I'm Keith Zhao, your announcer here at WTOE Radio Network. We're going to take a little bit long with this break to save our files for podcasts. So don't go anywhere, because there'll be more of the Echevarria Travel Show in just a bit.
Come with me, let's go. Come with me, let's go.
And we are back. This is Cheryl Echevarria of Echevarria Travel and the host of the Echevarria Travel Show. If you're just joining us, the first half hour I had Gilberto Machain from Karisma Hotels, and we spoke about all the all-inclusive resorts from El Dorado, the Azul, and the Generations Hotels. And they are gourmet inclusive hotels, which are really great food. And they're located in Playa del Carmen, Riviera Maya, and Cancun, and the new one in Negril, Jamaica. So if you have a chance, go to Echevarria Travel on Monday, and you can see the recorded show on my dedicated page for the Echevarria Travel Show. And I also have the audio link as well. This half hour of the show, I'm going to be updating you on all kinds of travel news out there that pertains to everybody, but it primarily affects the blind, but it can also help you as well, whether you're traveling anywhere in the world or just here in the United States. The first thing is the new TSA, and we all love the TSA security guards at the airport, don't we, Letty? They can be sometimes not the nicest people or the most educated people, but if you go to TSA.org, TSA.gov, I'm thinking of the NFB right now, but if you go to TSA.gov, they will tell you there's a link there for TSA Cares, which is a program that's been around a little bit, but it's been active the last couple of months, where you can actually sign up and call in 72 hours before you leave to the airport, and you'll be speaking to somebody at the TSA office, and you can let them know if you're blind, if you're in a wheelchair, if you're a diabetic and you have an insulin pump, if you're traveling with your guide dog. They'll ask you pertinent questions. You could also find this dedicated information on the NFBtravel.org website, since I am the president of the NFB, National Federation of the Blind Travel and Tourism. We try to post as much information about the travel industry up on our website, and we now have a dedicated blog page. So if you have questions and concerns, send us an email to info, I-N-F-O, at nfbtravel.org, and one of the officers of the Travel and Tourism Division will answer your questions. You could also call me at 631-456-5394. like I said, it's not just services for blind people. If you're pregnant, if you have questions about traveling with anything, with a CPAP machine, anything that you think that might be a concern when you're traveling, call them 72 hours before you leave your flight. They do not call any earlier than that, because they will have somebody at the airport waiting for you to help you through TSA, because they already know the information that you request. So it's going to be a lot easier going through that. And they work with all the airports. So it's not just here at JFK or in Kansas City, Missouri, or Miami, Florida. You call up that number. I don't have it in front of me, but it is on the NFBtravel.org website or TSA.gov website. And you look for TSA Cares, like caring about something, CARES. And it goes into all disabilities on there, or abilities, I like to say as well. So that's good information out there, and I plan on using it myself, because I will be flying out to the 74th National Convention of the National Federation of the Blind in Orlando, Florida. So if you're looking to go to that, the reservations are now open. It's in your Braille monitor, or ask your state or chapter president how to make a reservation. I'm going to give a little shout out to our other radio shows. If you're listening now and hoping to listen to Janie Degenshire or Jerry Moreno, they're on next week, because last week was the first week of January, and we were all off, so everything is pushed back a week. Their show will be on next Wednesday, same time, 8 o'clock p.m. And then on the 22nd, Joe Ruffalo, the original Through Our Eyes with Joe Ruffalo, will have Dr. Mark Maurer, president of the NFB National Office. He's down in Baltimore, but he's the president of the organization. And he does this every year with Joe and let him know about the NFB and what's going on throughout the year. And then, of course, we have on the last Wednesday of the month, we have Linda Zaney Thomas and Joanna Bacan that is looking good without looking. They talk all about makeup and fashion, and for men, women, children, teenagers. You don't have to be blind to enjoy all our shows, but we are blind that host these shows, so we hope you will listen in. And that's the WTOE Network, and it's run by the Northeast chapter of the NFB in New Jersey. Another program the TSA came up with is, and you may have heard this on your news program, is called the TSA Pre-Check. That is also on the TSA.gov, and I will be writing that up for our blog or our webmaster for the NFB Travel and Tourism Division. His name is LeVar Phillips. I might as well give a shout out to him. He's our webmaster and puts all the information up on our website. And it's actually a pre-check-in, so if you register for it online, and you have once you register for it online, you have up to 120 days to go down to your local office. And when you bring up your state, when you're registering for this, like if you're in where I am in Long Island, it gives me 2 different offices that I have to bring down my ID, my non-driver's license, my birth certificate, just like if you were applying for a passport. And what that does is, when you're going to the airport, it helps you go through TSA. You don't have to take off your belts anymore, or they won't be frisking your guide dog, or they won't be asking to take away your cane. You have an ID card, and only certain airlines are using this as right now to pre-do it. I know Southwest is using it, American Airlines, but basically it helps you go through TSA check-in a lot faster, because they were always bothering people that were elderly in wheelchairs, of people using their canes, and like I said, frisking our guide dogs. And even myself, when I'm traveling, I don't always use my guide dog. I have an insulin pump on, So this way you don't have to go through so many of the checkpoints. You don't have to take off your shoes and belt and take off your chains and the money out of your pockets. It's almost like a free pass. You do still have to go through some points of the security, but you're going through a lot faster now. So this information. Oh, we have a caller, and who's on line one? Hello? Is anybody there? We may have lost them. I'm sorry. If you're listening to the show, please try calling back in at 1-888-572-0141. We'd really love to talk to you, so call us back in and talk to me tonight. As I was saying, that's the TSA pre-check. It's in every state. It's not at every airport, so you got to make sure what airlines you're using, but it's a good way to go. I will be blogging about this on my own website. I will be updating my Facebook page, which is Echevarria Travel. Everything is Echevarria Travel. I also have a blog that's EchevarriaTravelBlog.com. Okay, we got caller one back. Hello, caller. Are you there?
Hello, Cheryl. It's Jerry Moreno.
Hello, I was just talking about you. Happy New Year.
I know, I heard. So, Happy New Year to you. Boy, I tell you, when Gilberto was talking,
yes,
I was thinking, wouldn't it be nice to be lying down on one of those beaches right now in warm Mexico?
Oh, yeah. And that area, I mean, unfortunately, the news out there is giving Mexico a bad name, and it's like I try to explain to somebody, if something is going on in California, it's not affecting us here in New York. It's such a big country. It's almost twice the size of the United States. So don't be so afraid of visiting places. And, that's why I'm here. I could give you all that information. I would like to send you almost every place in the world. And if it's not safe, I'm not going to send you there. So that's a good thing to have a travel partner there. How is your lovely wife?
She's doing well. She's on her new iPad. I made the mistake of showing her QVC, so she's been buying things and playing solitaire, but she's enjoying it. But I have to tell you, go ahead.
No, finish, go ahead.
But I have to tell you, though, with that, when Gilberto was talking about the gourmet exclusive, I was almost ready to say to Madeline, let's call up and find out where we can go. It's cold. Let's go somewhere warmer.
Exactly. What I was going to say, since you're on the phone with me, why don't you just do a little plug for your show next week?
Well, hi, this is Jerry from On the Bright Side with Janie and Jerry. I'm Jerry and Janie's somewhere else. We're going to have Tony Santiago on, who knows about iPhone, iPad, Apple, voiceover, knows a lot about that, and he's a good tech guy, and we're going to have an interesting show about the iPhone. So, Cheryl, you'll have to tune. Do you have an iPhone, Cheryl?
I do not. I have another smartphone that I use, but can you give us a little description of what On the Bright Side is about?
Well, On the Bright Side is a show in which Jane Degenshine and I, we're serious, we're funny, we're sometimes serious, sometimes funny. We have a good time, but we always like to look on the bright side. We always like to look on things that will lift you up as opposed to lift you down, because it's a choice that you have, that you could choose to be sad, or you can say, well, I know, well, hey, like for instance, for me, I'm blind. So I had a choice. Do I sit in the house and say I'm blind, or do I go out and get a job and work? And when I went out and I worked 33 years and a half or whatever, and I retired, and I'm enjoying it.
Wonderful.
How's Nelson doing?
Nelson is wonderful. I am getting ready to go to Washington, D.C. I have to say, I know Jerry for about 3 or 4 years, and last year we did cruise together with the NFB in New Jersey fundraiser cruise to Bermuda. We had a wonderful time. We laughed, we cried, we enjoyed, and we're looking to do that again one day. I mean, at least with Joe and Jerry and anybody else that want to go. So I do groups all the time, so remember to check me out. And we're doing a group, couples group getaway to Sandals in Ocho Rios, Jamaica in August. So if you're interested in going, that's a couples only resort. Reach out to me. And we're also doing in October, this is the second annual Travel and Tourism Division event. Last year we went to Las Vegas and Utah. We are going to Nashville, Tennessee. We are doing a tour of Country Music USA. It is $568 per person, double occupancy, and we are now taking deposits of $75 per person or $120 as a single to come and join us. Jerry, do you think you might want to go with us?
Oh, well, shut my mouth. Country music. That sounds interesting. I'm going to have to look into that. I did remember reading about that, and I was wondering how we could have to talk about how we could figure out getting because you'll be busing down or flying.
No, we are flying into Nashville International Airport. I will have, if people are interested, I will be holding a hotel near the airport for people that want to come in a day early. So, but we will all be picked up at Nashville International Airport on the 6th. And this is during the week, so if people are out there listening and they're concerned that their state convention, normal state conventions with the NFB, they go from Friday to Sundays. So either you can fly in or you can fly out of your state convention if it falls on that weekend. So it's October 6th, which is a Monday, to October 10th, which is a Friday. And we're going to be seeing the Country Music Hall of Fame. We're going to the Grand Ole Opry. We're going to see another country show as well. We're going to go to the Bellmead Plantation to get a tour of that. And other things around Nashville. I think we're going to see the new Johnny Cash exhibit at the Grand Ole, the Country Music Hall of Fame Museum, because that's a very big museum. So we'll be checking in on that. You're going to get a breakfast and dinner daily. You're going to have hotel and all that information that I was mentioning plus more. So it's going to be chock full for 5 days there. So everybody will have a great time. Hey, Jerry, are you heading down to Orlando this year for the convention again?
You got to mention food if you want to get Jerry to go.
Food. You got to mention food.
Yes, I know. It's a lot of food. Yes, we're having breakfast and dinner daily.
We're planning on it. We haven't actually looked at it yet, but I'd like to go there because we always have a good time. Speaking of food, we had a great time when we went to that restaurant.
The Greek restaurant, yes,
the Greek
and we're planning on doing that again.
Yeah, we just have a regular good time, and it's good to be with friends and people you don't know, and you make friends with them. That's one good thing about. You were talking about the cruise we went on. I mean, you meet people, and you make new friends, and you have more fun, fun. But I got to tell you something funny, Cheryl.
Yes,
I don't know if you noticed, but during the 4-minute break, there was that commercial about inventor.gov, and the little boy had a cat catcher.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard a cat outside my door, but after that commercial was played, I'm sitting there and I hear meow, meow, meow. There's a cat. So Lenny, the commercial worked.
Wow.
Life is funny.
Yes, it is.
Well,
but
I'm going to let you go, or I'm going to let me go.
Yes, sir. And we'll be in touch on Facebook. I'll probably see a picture of you eating somewhere because that's the only time you're on Facebook. But enjoy.
Actually, a lot of times I don't even post the ones where I eat.
Exactly.
But if I can give you a plug, if anyone's looking for a great travel agent that takes care of you, that just doesn't book a flight for you or book a room for you and forget about you, that's Cheryl. So check her out. All righty? See you next week.
See you
Bye-bye.
next week, Jerry. I hope to call in. Take care and good night.
All right. Bye-bye.
And I did want to get... Lenny, how much time do I have? I do want to bring this up. I was bringing this up at the bottom of the hour that the NFB is heading to Washington, D.C., and one of the issues that we are going to fight with Congress on is the Air Carrier Technology Accessibility Act. We've all heard of the Air Carrier Access Act, which affects the airlines and how people with disabilities are on the plane and they're not supposed to discriminate. But I don't know if any of you have read or seen that Congress has pushed it back 10 years for the airlines that have kiosks in them and the websites for airlines up to 10 years to make them accessible. This is not fair, and this is not fair to anybody, not especially the blind, people that are dyslexic, people that are deaf, people that don't have disabilities, because I always say we're one illness and one accident from away from being disabled. So if you want to know what NFB does, this is one of the issues we're working on down in Congress. And me being a travel agent, I have a lot to give. So I'm working for you, whether you're blind, disabled, or not. That's what I'm doing for you. And I want to thank Lenny for being a great station manager and working very hard to keep this radio show going. And remember, we run on tax-deductible donations from you, the listeners. Next month, I will be talking more about these issues with travel and have another guest for you to listen to. Have a great night and travel safely. Remember, Echevarria Travel, your one-on-one travel agent, 631-456-5394. Good night.
The Echevarria Travel Show is brought to you by Echevarria Travel, home of the independent traveler since 2009, specializing in worldwide destinations for the blind community. For more information on Echevarria Travel, call Cheryl at 631-456-5394 or email her at reservations@echevarriatravel.com. All words, ideas, and contents expressed on this show are those of Cheryl Echevarria and not necessarily those of the National Federation of the Blind, the Northeast New Jersey chapter, or the WTOE Internet Radio Network. Until next time, I'm Keith Zally.
Let's go. Cruise like a Norwegian.
The previous WTOE radio podcast is a commercial-free version of our live broadcast brought to you every Wednesday evening starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at through THRU OurEyes.org.